up, YouTube? This is the meaning of Shojulia. So if you don't know who Shojulia is, Shojulia is my new favorite character. I have the Kami High version of the Konoha. I love Konoha. Let me turn down the music a little bit so I can elaborate. So this is my new deck, I created specifically based off of shipping that I made before. So like, you gotta understand, this is really real shit. Alright, so this really gets down to the nitty-gritty. So this is my Jessie / Julia deck. If you don't know who Julia is a character in Yu-Gi-Oh! Art 5, and she is really powerful and dope. It defeats one of the main characters in the very first arc, and she's a black character as well. So it really let me, like, Lily made me feel so alive. Like when I first got to see Yu-Gi-Oh! Art 5 on Nickelodeon, and the first thing I see is a black duelist. You see, that's all that it takes to impress me. And nerds always like to criticize, what does he have to contribute to his series? What does he have to do this and that? Like, why is her being black have to be the main focus? Because I'm black and I rarely get to see black characters in anime, especially a black character in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I got to see, like, literally freaking so many black characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Art 5 before I marathon GX. You have to understand that. And I love Cyrus. And it really was out there when I got my first job, and I realized a whole lot about, like, the real world. But before then, I was fucking with the Cyrus / Julia ship. Because you know why? Because they're the same age, and because, there's a whole lot that has to do with that. Because Lily, they're the same height, Lily, freaking. What? I can't take a character with shaggy hair going out with a black girl? I can't do that? Like, Lily, you don't understand, like, the reason why I paired Cyrus with Julia was because, like, literally freaking, I'm a big fan, like, fucking, not just of, like, actual black shit, but, what people consider black today, I consider it incredibly right. Like, fucking the hair extensions, the little pump shit, all these rappers having colored hair, that's extremely feminine to me, and I feel like that defeats the whole purpose of hip-hop. I remember where it used to be about being, like, 50 Cent or Snoop Dogg. Now it's all about being a fucking, weenie that gets money. Everybody wants to be a fucking Richie Rich nowadays, and it's really out there. So, where did I think about this? So, Lily, like, Lily, I was being a weeb, as I know he was, and I was in the process of making a new girl A&B. So, what happened was this. When I was making a new girl A&B, I was thinking about this, like, I'm going to put Cyrus with Julia and Lily. So, I was thinking about it, and I realized, like, yo, if that was actually true, then Cyrus would really be, at least 30 compared to Julia if they were to date today. So, the thing about that, and the reason why that is better than what you think and what you see is what you get, that situation, that's the reason why that A&B was real. Because what I was making Cyrus an R&B guy that Lily was singing R&B, and I think about it, and it's not just Cyrus, it's my life experience. The real reason why I'm all about that shit is the same reason why I just really have succeeded in so many aspects of life. You know why? It's because of the fact that Lily, this is a really good deck. Lily, I just made this deck today, so like really free. Alright, but the real aspect of that, as I learned over time, that I was always pressured by society to give her girls my age, because I used to be in special ed, and literally I couldn't get any girl at all. So like literally what happened is I started off with one girl that was 3 years younger than me, and literally what I did was I figured out that they were actually some of the best girls to get along with. I do have a history of doing that. There's this one girl I met at the mental hospital named Lily, and she is hella fucking fine. She has a thick ass, like Lily, perfectly Lily, a blonde girl, Lily, with a perfect hair, Lily, fucking her face isn't ordinary. She doesn't have a straight perfect jawline. Then you're just have perfect hair. A perfect girl. And Sirius 13, I was playing, I was talking to her. And shit, so I'm gonna make a video about Lily later on. But guess what? Me and Lily were having hella fun. All we were doing was laughing. We were laughing 24/7. I didn't have to ask for sex. I didn't have to do everything. It all came into play. I'm sorry. And his thing, like Lily was there when I first started working out. What happened is I was at, the psych ward. I was at the mental hospital. So like, hey, you already have chairs and shit. What I did was I put fucking 3 chairs in fucking, like I put 3 chairs and I went in and out of them. I started like doing steps. I started going in and out of those chairs like you do in the fucking military. And it was hella funny because I gained hella fucking like strength after that. Anyway, the thing about that is the reason why I paired them together is really, I'm like, you know what, that's a really, really good idea, and I still roll with that concept today. It's the same thing what I do with Alexis Rose and Def the Kid lately, because they both go to school, they both have yellow eyes, and they both have, you know, inverted color schemes for their designs, and they're both recognized members at the school of being high tiers. So those are a lot of fucking connections, and the reason why I think Cyrus and Julia work so well is because Cyrus is an OG and he has a lot of experience, but Julia is a prodigy, so they are both a perfect couple, and you have to understand that. You have to really, really get down to the degree, but that concept was really, really cold to me. I love the fact that I have a pedophilia, you know, shipping between Cyrus and Julia from Yu-Gi-Oh! Art 5. You know why? Because I learned a whole lot about growth by age and why they weren't worth it. That's why. As they do with pedophilia, of course you gotta wait till you're 18, but that's not get to the gay part. Let's actually get to the real nitty-gritty part. That's the problem with fucking society. There should be more ships like Cyrus and Julia in society. Isn't the shit that I'm trying to get through to you guys? Do you understand? And what I mean by that is literally, what I mean by that is that there should be more understanding situations like that. I know a whole lot of OGs do that shit. I know a whole lot of OGs do that over and over again, but it's fucking crazy, man. And what I mean by that is, you know why? It's because young girls aren't imprinted by their world yet. There's a science behind that. Because when you get started, when you get aware of everything your whole life, it makes you feel entitled. It makes you feel very entitled. Just like this one girl that like Lily used to have, like, you know, I didn't have a thing going on in high school. Her name was fucking Alex and shit. You know, she was always saying nobody cares what your drug experiences. Stop acting gay and stuff like that. Just accept the fact that we already established that, like, we don't like you and shit. That was a really good deck. Okay, so anyway, the problem with that is that if somebody comes at you like that when you already know you're good, that means really they're trying to score you and you already got it going on, and you have it better than them, but they're making it equivalent. That is literally what's going to happen. But literally, let's go back to Cyrus and Julia. The reason why he's so fucking good is because Cyrus has a nigga exterior to him, because he does have an African American mindset. If you actually know, like, black people, like, full out and truly, like, Cyrus is blacker than Jaden. If you actually know about like true black people, like, and how they're really, 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 really sophisticated. Like, they say that, like, literally, they're talking about ideas, like, inventions and stuff, like, is what makes us white. I'm like, no, like, that's what makes us truly, truly, truly black. Inventing shit is what blacks are not, like, let's not go into that, but, like, yeah. So anyway, man, fucking, besides that, like, literally fucking, when I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Art 5 the very first time at my job, because I'm usually known for watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and so because they didn't have a Precious theme song or a Precious English stuff to get content, our girl went overboard when we were talking about, like, literally, I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Art 5 for the very first time at my job, and she's usually the lady watching dubbed anime. She's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And everybody was like, leave him alone. And it was like, literally, this is the power that girls get for being thirsty. I hated that. This girl wasn't even that fine too. Like, she was like 4 foot fucking 2. Really, that was infuriating. Oh, now you faggots don't want to play. Now you faggots. Oh, okay. Okay, I was about to say, yo. Okay, so anyway, the real reason why this is a fucking trip. This is the biggest fucking trip. We have no idea how big of a trip this shit is. Like you think this is a joke. This is the farthest thing from a fucking joke that, like, I can really, really present to you. Because you know why? Because fucking the real reason why is that there need to be more mature people, like, my age that actually, like, want to do shit. I'm the only, like, really, I became the best in my generation because I applied an old school generation concept to that, and really, I recognize a whole lot about that shit. You know, oh damn. I wasn't even thinking this entire fucking game, but literally. Damn. Okay, so any fucking way, the Julia Crystal, like, Lily, see, is a finesse shit. So, like, see, remind me a whole lot of the group. So, the first time our four-girl duel, I said finesse gang, and literally on my Instagram as I was pouring Yu-Gi-Oh! 5. Yes, I was known for that. I was the gang lord. There was a whole lot of other shit. That's when everybody, like, looked up to me and shit. Like, it didn't matter, like, literally what I had is what I brought to the table. And that's always what it was. But, you know, with that new girl concept, that shipping is fucking ill because literally, he has a word for that doesn't play around. Where it comes to dueling, she's pretty sure herself. And that's the thing about this. So Julia is based off the shit that's literally Cyrus and Julia, so she's a duelist. And so her moveset in the show of Dons is the Bejeweled moveset because her father's name is Bejeweled. So like so Julia has a jewel deck and it's based off Jesse's deck from GX and like Julia's Axel deck. So I have right here, what you started just now is what happens when you combine, you know, fucking Julia's deck with Jesse's deck. No fuses involved. I have no fuses in this deck because I haven't mastered it yet. This is me like literally going like literally with fucking half the knowledge of the test. Like all I did was I picked the two archetypes together. It's a really good game. Okay, so anyway, so Julia is really a good concept. And do you understand the fact that when it comes down to this, like I was fucking desperate for shippings at the time, but I even tried Kawato and Cameron. Yeah, I'm a big ass fucking weed. I was, but I stopped and I became a school jock. And I'll try to let you know, this has nothing to do with me becoming a school jock. The school jock is the last thing I wanted to fucking do, but it really is good. But do you know how fucking gray that concept is? You don't understand how OG that concept is because you know that that's exactly the exact reason why older men end up with younger women. Because of that shipping idea right there. There's a whole lot of shit that comes from that. You know why? It's because when I was talking to Lily, all we were doing was fucking around. Like I told Lily that she should watch Fairy Tail because Lily, she's a fine ass girl and shit like that. And like Lily, I told her like Lily fucking oh, did you consider watching anime? And she's like, oh, fucking baby, why? I'm like, you need to watch Fairy Tail. She's like, why would I watch that? Because you get a cat. You don't understand. This thick ass bitch. I just got out the site for her. This is funny. This is the shit I know about life. And Lily, this is hella funny. She's fucking thick as fuck. Lily, she's 18 now. She's near a problem. I'm gonna make a video about Lily later on. Look at that shit. Was so fucking funny. Lily, she was so fucking comprehensive. I would try to smoke weed. She's like, take me with you. Oh my god. You don't understand. She was a funny ass girl. She was only 13. None of the girls in my high school were that funny. Like, Lily, you won't understand. You need to stop having that happen. And like, you have to understand. And like, and because I had Abby, I was willing to wait till Lily turned 18. You get that? Like, you have to understand. I put myself in the best position, like all that shit to fall into. You know? And because I had so many relationships, start understanding is why that all gone to way of the family scheme and shit. And when they try to label me a predator, oh my god, that was the fucking worst because you understand what fucking Shojulia meant because they really fucking that shipping means a lot to me because really I got specifically that fucking contact on my phone. Like I chose, you know, fucking I was doing numbers left and right, so literally I even went to a con specifically so I could pull one black girl. I'm like, you know what? I'm not really fucking with black girls nowadays because of hair extensions and shit. But literally, I got all the numbers. I picked one that was a black girl specifically so I can do the shipping. Like you don't understand that. That's how really I assess that and we're anime. Literally, I have one black girl that I've earned. One black girl that I pulled. I have a whole bunch of context level up extra. I was picking and choosing. Like, I'm gonna do one just for the fuck of it. Like, it's hella fucking funny. You know, it's crazy. Like, it didn't matter like what the girl was, like who the girl was, because fucking once she hangs out with me, she'll be a different girl. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the lesson you have to understand. Like, and that whole parafoul concept is nothing because there are people who are actual parafoul intenses that get with little girls and shit. There are some people who actually get with little girls because they can't FaceTime perfectly, but there are some men that are really lost and confused and get with those girls because they don't want to deal with the bullshit girls of their generation. I've been there, done that. It means nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand completely where they're coming from, and I'm saying we got that shit gotta go. You know, fucking, we can't always be on that bullshit. Hella fucking balanced. But yeah, so Julia has the dual deck. Like there are some, you know, a form of dual deck and nonsense. She has a dual deck moveset, but she doesn't like have like, you know, that's like the Pokemon usually shit. Like the summoner users, some of them like have themes for their Pokemon and shit. They're not called Pokemon and shit. You have to understand that. But like fucking the Pokemon, like the fucking, like when they fucking summon their monsters and shit, like it has a theme to it, you know, and all like flows to the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like this archetype, it has to flow to the same archetype. So like I had no idea why this nigga laced this shit up. But anyway, bro, like this is a really, really tragic thing because you don't understand, like Lily, the reason why I did that and the reason why Shojulia like was, you see why for Shojulia and Nas, why? Because it's what I envisioned of really the shipping of Cyrus Shojulia. And look how, you can already tell by her character design alone, she's one of the more mature characters. Just like literally fucking, just think about it. Think about it, like literally. Yeah, see, everybody's favorite character alone, and she hasn't done shit. And all we know is Lily, and this is her backstory. So Lily freaking is crazy as fuck because Lily, the reason why I chose that is because it really hurt Lily knowing that girls in my generation. I used to compare myself to girls like Rihanna. Now I can pull all those girls with ease. Now that I know what stereotypes are in society, that shit was absolutely fucking terrible. Oh my fucking god. You don't understand, like, Lily, I thought I was the one who was lost, but Lily, when I learned from this concept, I was the farthest thing from lost. I knew what I wanted to do 100% and shit, and you have to understand, like, Lily, this concept of Lily, that me, when I imprint girls when I'm younger, all the time in the, like, Shojulia, like, she's based off that lore. That's the lore of, like, Lily, Shojulia. Like, Shojulia is based off Lily freaking, like, the old school. She is basically made off Lily, the old party generation. She keeps her mouth shut and she's only like Lily, fools them, and she's a really, like, you can already tell that she's fed up with this world, but she's not. It's not hard for writing. What she is she's a calm, cool, collect character. She's always analyzing the situation and putting it into, like, her best advantage, but she does have a dreadful side to her. You can already tell Lily by her design and everything. This is like a video dedicated to her. The reason why this thing went on for so long because I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Lily GX Lily on repeat, and I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. And Lily, that job shit really pissed me off. It did piss me off because it affected me. It's pissed me off because Lily, I know there's gonna be people who's gonna support her outside the job. Like, see, if I put myself in that situation, nobody would support me. Like, Lily, I'm not talking about like, oh, Eric's expecting me a girl. I'm like, no, this is why you can't let girls get away with specific shit. You don't understand, like, Lily, I was in an area where Lily, there was junior high right next to where I lived and shit like that. And then Lily, did I take the bait or did I ask, yo, do you go to high school or you're a senior and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? I've been around that shit. I've grown up with this paraphernalia like aspect. Lily, I understand a whole lot about it. I understand because there are some little kids on the street that want to fuck me and shit. You don't think that shit, like, it haunts me because that shit is really out, man. I'm telling you. You don't understand, like, Lily, it's Lily. So, Lily, the shipping is based off Lily. Oh, the girls of my generation were warfare. I think about that, and I couldn't compare it to fucking Isaiah's generation. Like, Lily, I couldn't compare it to Rihanna. Like, that shit was so out, wasn't even fucking funny. That concept is the same. So I'm gonna like link you know fucking enjoy the scripture and how I truly feel, you know, fucking after this and fucking so really as fucking inspiration. Was really based off really like the plan for so like we don't want to be great. But also I feel find a better where it's like, you know, fucking it's based off the people who really pick girls who are younger or living conditions so they don't have to deal with game, and so they're also easy to complain. That's the best part about girls like Abby, Lily, all of them, because they were so easily compliant. They didn't grow up to have a standard in order to like have a gate to, you know, block. But because I have your attention, what that does is that Lily, that becomes unconsiderate of somebody else's situation. Because how they raise women in society is a race. Does he have a car? Does he have this and that? Lily, instead of being complex, they tell you to follow the stereotype that's on TV, and they say that it's beneficial. Like, look at the benefits that those guys got going to cause, not like recognizing their background or race or anything. Like, Lily, people who fall into cracks in society and end up like Lily having a late start and like Lily gain advantages on other people have, but still have to like sit back and Lily grit their fucking teeth. Not Lily about Lily how paraphilic it is for Lily for them to live that plastic lifestyle and how we're going through all this Lily, these natural events and how you guys are Lily just get away with being plastic. Oh my god, that is what the origin of that is like Lily. Me and Lily were real as fuck. And Lily, and nothing is stopping us now, so you get what I'm saying? Like, Lily, if I get that, but you get what I'm saying? That can't always be, like, I'm like, that shit is horrible. Because Lily, freaking, before they're imprint, before they fucking have standards, before Lily, they think the world's all about them, before they have everything go their way, like, you imprint them with something, and like, so they don't question you. They never question, like, Abby didn't question, like, Lily, what I was doing and shit like that. You see, like, grown women that are trained to, like, deal with hypertrophy. Like, Brianna was testing me instantly. Brianna, Steve just me everything, showed me about all those places she was going on Snapchat, and she's like, where are all the places you are going and shit like that, and I, like, gave it to her right then and there. You have a pussy. I do not. You understand that? And Lily, freaking, that is the meaning of everything that isn't is what Shojulia is. Like, she's everything that Lily. People who earn it in society, people who have complex stories, yet have to deal with this bullshit world with stereotypes. It really, really was crazy. You understand? She's really based off how immature Lily upbringing can be, or like how immature your background can be, but how you can really mature as a person, but how you can seem to do immature shit, but really they're doing way more immature shit behind the scenes. And they're masking it by saying like they're being brave, they're down in character, they're handling their situation in a different way you are, but they have a different coping mechanism, and their coping mechanism is mentally ill. And that's literally what people sound like. It's true, like a lot of people get laid in their mental hospital, you know, fucking like a lot of guys that really get that shit done, and that shit isn't a fucking, you know, a problem. What is the problem is the people who should be in the mental hospital aren't, and I agree with that for a good reason, because I've actually gained the benefit of the stereotype, but I don't agree with, you know, the fact that Lily, we have to stay distant, and the fact that we can't really reveal the truth about the truth. That's why I'm not, you know, fucking keeping somebody in a single file line in order to keep chaos out the way is okay, people. When you leg it on their hand and you raise the entire generation of women to think like fucking Brianna, like, do you know I got Brianna pregnant? Did you know I got her pregnant with Eves? I got her pregnant right after a Demon Slayer movie. After some popular shit, right? That's why I don't like that. I remember when it was a challenge to get Brianna. I remember it was this and that, but I don't give a fuck about that now. But I was struggling because I compared her with, because Lily, I was listening to shit like MGTOW and shit like that. Lily, fucking, I just lost my job. I thought about fucking Brianna and shit like that because I was 23. I heard that woman, she didn't get like clearly fucking kids after 23 and shit like that. I was thinking about like, oh, it's fucking too late. I was thinking about my shipping and my A&B. I was thinking about Lily at Shojulia and shit like that. I was thinking about Lily, how I compare myself to Lily, how I turned back Lily, how their fucking fears is fucking fading away, and I have to get before they're fucking 30, before all my kids have autism and shit. Oh my fucking god, all that shit was flowing through her brain. That's a sickening thing. And you see how like Lily, how Cyrus is playing cool, and how he went with the fucking black girl, how like Lily, there was no fucking breast involved because he's tired of the fucking immature one. And here we got where an actual black girl with an attitude and how he's a fucking nerd. You see how there's no such thing as dynamic like this in mainstream media anymore. That's why this could be a fucking, you know, fucking a really fucking fucked up concept, but because it's based off two pure characters, it cannot be. So that's the meaning of Shojulia. It's based on both of their personalities. And Lily, what I did was Lily, I made this thing where Lily, nobody can disagree with it. So what you see is what you get. It's the same thing when I upload Alexis, you know, and Def the Kid. Everybody started rocking the DS and had black girls with, you know, blonde hair extensions. So that's all around all that. Like fucking Julia Jacqueline at the picture job. That's all a part of Shojulia. Fucking when they were wrong and how they submitted, how Kayla, that's all about how people are raised in society, and how like Lily, how people want to keep the secret of rape around. I'm like, Lily, it's like you're like, ha ha ha, Aaron's, I heard you got rejected. I'm like, ha ha ha, I heard you raped. And Lily, that's shit you can't say on the speak, because that shit start fights and shit. I really, now that I know a truth about fucking people, like Lily, I want to clap back to somebody so badly, and then I want to challenge their fight, but I know what's gonna happen. Like Lily, and that's the real thing that pisses me off. We need to be able like to talk shit like that in society. Like Lily, you know what? When you say that shit in a public, say don't ever say that shit in a public school, as if you say that, you're gonna get killed instantly. Like, not only killed, but like, fucking nobody's gonna agree with you, not fucking cheat you, not no one, because you just fucked up the single file line and you caused havoc, and now everybody's fucking wanting to fucking take it back, and now everybody fucking destroying the structure. They do things to keep it a steady road, but maybe you shouldn't have such a shitty operation. When you get into more professional businesses, like corporate businesses and stuff like that, you may deal with petty shit, but it won't be on the grand scale. You get what I'm saying? So you'll get what I'm saying. The more professional, the less bullshit. Like, the more bang for the buck, basically. Okay, so I put it like that. So, like, this is Move Trick. This is the meaning of Shojulia, and I'm out.
Man, you could be my new girl. Say you could be my new boy. To keep it 100, I'm ready for the next chick. My soon-to-be ex-chick about to hit the exit. And right after she leave, I leave the key under the mat. When you feeling kinda lonely, you be free to come and chat. Know you heard them effing rumors like I beat then leave, but straight drop, it's just gossip. TMZ, guess the principle is I don't give no referrals. Check into my district, you could be the new girl. Hey, I had so many girls that fade away in my past. It's safe to say that I lied, but I think that changed today. You made me think in a major way. You could be my new girl. You could be my new girl. You could be my new girl. Out with the old and in with the new girl. I guess I seen the beauty of my life, cause she was a beast, a typical freak. She made it with me. How does she end up being caught up all in my world? Cause now I just imagine, baby, you can be my new girl. No jokes, no games, I'm feeling you a whole lot. I ran into you with no turns, it was a roadblock. Thinking to myself, I had one of them past that didn't last. A chick with no class, it was so bad. Damn, and now we in 2009 and I'm trying to make you my summer girl. You got a dope mind. Let's go to Texas, Arkansas, Arizona. We can go to Michigan or live life in California, my new girl. I had so many girls that fade away in my past that I don't think it's safe to say that I lied, but I think that changed today. You made me think in a major way. You could be my new girl. You could be my new girl. You could be my new girl. Out with the old and in with the new girl.
Every time I look into your eyes, I wanna feel fireworks on my insides. You be here for me when I don't know what to do. I need a new girl. I need a girl to give me some good loving, cause I'm known as make loving. I need a girl that's fresh and fly. We can stay together through the end of time.
So many girls that fade away in my past.
I don't think it's safe to say. You made me think in a major way. Sugar, be my new darling. You can be my new girl. Yeah.